this MCTV sports production of high school soccer from the Peninsula Athletic League. It's the Mills Vikings hosting the Jefferson Indians from the Ocean Division here in Millbrae, California, on the campus of Mills High School on this January the 10th, 2014. Happy New Year, everybody. Hello, everyone, alongside my broadcaster, Andy Pitman. I'm Kenny Mills. Thank you so much for joining us today. A beautiful afternoon for soccer here, and it's just been drizzling earlier this morning, but slight clouds are out, sun is shining, and the Vikings have now taken the field as well as the Indians, who are in their road blue, Mills in their home white. And checking the Ocean Division standings before we get underway, El Camino, Hillsdale, and South City all won their game on Wednesday. They're at 1-0 as league just started 2 days ago. Mills and Westmore both tied 1-1. Cappuccino, Jefferson, and Terra Nova in 6th, 7th, and 8th, or tied for 6th, if you will, at 0-1. In the league opener on Wednesday, Mills and Westmore, they tied 1-1. Westmore jumped on top early on, and Mills kind of dominated that game and then got a late goal, the equalizer, with just a couple minutes left by Andrade. And the final score ended up being 1-1. It was Justin Andrade, the senior, scoring that goal. Overall, Mills is 3-2-3, and Jefferson has only played 3 games. They are 2-0-1. Interesting situation. Neither head coach is here today, and we are underway from Mills. And on the attack, moving left to right, are the Vikings, and this one goes out of bounds for a corner kick. The goalies today for Mills: Eric Wong, he's a senior. And for Jefferson, number 1, Jose Luis Frangel, as the corner comes inside, and it's cleared out quickly, but not all the way, by Jefferson. Battling for it and breaking it free out to midfield of the Indians. Controlling it over to the right side. That was Faraz Corey, and the out of bounds will go to the Indians. Taking the throw in will be Luis Castillo. He's a senior. A lot of seniors on this Jefferson squad. They lost their game on Wednesday 3-0. One of their forwards, Byron Herrera, number 17. And the Mills defender sends it back. And here comes Corey. Centering ball. Now they switch it over to the other side. In the middle, number 13, that's Jun Jang inside, and Corey almost got a header on it, and there's a blast from outside the box. Goes wide to the left. Shot attempt there from Vikings Carlos Dantes, the junior. Free kick, booted nicely. Corey heads it. And it's out of bounds to the Vikings. With the throw in, Eric Johnson for Mills, wearing number 6. And with a nice pass there, number 7, Kevin Kenny. Here's Corey from the side, a centering ball. And it's cleared out by Jefferson. 2 nice balls there. Kenny and Corey. There's Johnson. Stolen there by Marcos Vasquez, a junior, for Jefferson. Control by the Vikings. There's Johnson. Tries to get it to Andrade. And it's out of bounds to the Vikings. Johnson with the throw in. Here's Andrada. Andrada scored that one goal this past Wednesday, the equalizer, with just a few minutes left. And our color commentator, Andy Pitman, you were at that game. Welcome to the broadcast booth. We're just underway. No score yet.
It's good to be here, Ken. Beautiful day for soccer out here.
Very nice. And you were at that game on Wednesday. Boy, you thought it pretty exciting.
It was. When we showed up, it was a little bit of the fog bowl going on there at the stadium at Westmore. But and we showed up a little bit late. We didn't catch that early goal that Mills had given up. But from my observation, they actually controlled the game for pretty much the duration and were knocking at the door all game and finally capitalized at the very end there to pull out the tie.
Nice ball into the middle. Corey trying to battle for it. And the Indians control and then kick it out of bounds. Playing it safe here early on. Throw in from Johnson to Kenny, but it's out of bounds, and that'll be ball out to Jefferson. I was saying it's kind of an interesting situation. Neither head coach had arrived before a game. Paulie Wired is filling in for Coach Dilly over there for Mills, and it's Luis Magallanes, the JV coach, filling in for the head coach, Julio Aguinalda.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, the family coaching continues here with the soccer teams with Coach Wired.
Making a break on that one. Byron Herrera takes a deep shot from outside, but coming in to defend that for Mills nicely was Aui Hernandez.
It's just a matter of keeping your head keeping your eyes looking at the ball, getting your knees over that ball and driving it straight. That time he pulled back a little bit, and that's why that ball got elevated, and it didn't have the control that he was looking for there.
Now, looking over to the sideline, I think Coach Dilly has arrived.
It looks like it. He usually keeps a pretty calm demeanor over there on the side. I've watched him, though. I can see a fire burning inside. He's definitely he's an intense coach, that's for sure, but he doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of yelling.
Coach Dilly now in his second year as head man for the varsity squad here at Mills. Send a ball down as Eric Wong, the goalie, going to decide which way he wants to go. Coach Dilly last season went 4-2-3 in the PAL Ocean Division. Here's a breakaway by Andrada. One dribble, goalie stumbling, but he comes out, loose ball. Andrada's got it. Here's Corey with the left foot, and it goes out. Nice scoring opportunity that let slip away there, Andy.
Yeah, that's right. And you can see how important that first touch is. Once that ball breaks through, it's really important to keep that ball right there on your foot. If you push it out too far in front, the goalie's going to be right there, and you're going to have the kind of collision that we just had. Looks like both of the players are coming up a little bit gimpy here.
Kevin Kenny is going to take the corner kick. Mills, interestingly, starts everybody outside the box. They charge in on the boot, and it gets through everybody. Opportunity there as Edgar Catalan sends it through. It's off Mills, so the Indians will have a throw in. They send it to the center, and Tomas Malave, number 7. And a nice through ball, Wong chasing, and he does a nice job. You got to time everything right. These goalies got to know when to come in, when to come out, and it's not an easy decision a lot of the time.
Not at all, and communication is key. That's pretty much going to be the role of the center fullback there, to direct traffic in terms of having the goalkeeper come out and telling the wingers on the winger backs when to fall back.
Once again, last season in the Ocean, 4th place for Mills, 4-2-3 overall. Coach Dilly in his first season went 6-5-3. This season, Mills is 3-2-3 overall, 0-0-1 with that tie. There's a nice ball there by Andrada. Corey trying to battle for it, gets it a shot off, and a nice save there made by Jose Luis Frangel, the junior for Jefferson.
Yeah, that was a good effort to get the ball on goal, despite the fact that he was off balance. But it's a good sign for Mills here. They're pushing forward like they were doing against Westmore. It looks strong going forward here. So
So after a year and a half, Coach Dilly's career record, 9-7-6. So a nice winning percentage there to start off his varsity coaching career, Coach Dilly. 6th year, now his 7th year with the program. Spent 6 years an assistant coach under Tim Keller, who's the current athletic director.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And he's definitely come onto his own here as a coach. You can see that he's developed a little bit of a style with his teams. They seem to be pushing forward a little bit more than they did last year when we saw them. Looks like they're running with more forwards up top. So
that was a handball by Marcos Vasquez as Robert Thorgerson had sent it out from deep in Mills zone. It looks like Thorgerson, they call him Cheese. He's going to do the free kick from midfield. He sends it right down the center, and the goalie's going to have no problem, although he dropped it and recovers. And Frangel, the junior, sends it out. Thorgerson with the header to Kenny. Corey giving chase, battling there with Malave from Jefferson. And this one's going to go the Mills Vikings way.
I'm really enjoying seeing them push the ball forward, putting the ball in the air and seeing what happens. It's a good way to just get that ball in there in the box in front of the goal, bouncing around. You could see there that the goalie had a hard time handling the ball, and those are the kind of opportunities you got to take advantage of.
Luis Castillo, the senior defenseman, with the throw-in for Jefferson. Good battle won by the Mills Vikings, sending it forward to Andrada. And nothing doing, but that was nicely done there for Mills by Carlos Dantes, the junior for the Vikings. Chasing it on the far side. That's June Jang, number 13. And we've got a corner. Coach Dilly was also a high jump coach at Mills for 2 years.
I think some of those skills could come in handy here, particularly on a corner kick.
Yeah.
See we can get this ball elevated.
Although no Fosbury flops, huh? There's a center ball. Headed out nicely by Jefferson. Still controlling us, Johnson. Over to Kenny. Kenny sends a nice one inside. Trying to get the control there was June Jang. Trying to relieve some pressure. Reversal of field for the Vikes. Here's Corey. Quickly back on play. Ball stolen from Johnson, and a ball sent to the middle by Vasquez, and it's controlled by the Vikes. Another handball, and
they're going to let that one go.
No, late call.
Delayed call on that, huh?
The AR1, Mac Parfait, saw that handball, and he's the assistant referee. The referee today is Justin Rubovitz, and AR2 on the closer side here is Victor Maraz.
Nice to have that third official here, keeping track of offsides on both sides of the field.
And Mac Parfait over there on the far side, AR1. Boy, he does it all. He's a high school football referee. He also is a great Little League umpire. Umpires All-Stars. He's on the board for District 52. Works the Islanders games we're familiar with. There's Thorgerson with the header out there. Yeah, we both saw each other and couldn't believe it. We've seen each other at so many different venues. It's like, what are you doing here?
Well, you guys are both very involved here with different sports.
Local sports. We love it. We live it. Hey,
Absolutely.
MCTV, talk about sports. Boy, we've really expanded our coverage over the last few years.
Absolutely. We're excited. I think the next few events that we do, well, we got another soccer game coming up.
There's a shot attempt, and nicely defended. Byron Herrera took the shot for Jefferson, and getting back on defense for Mills was Eric Johnson. Nicely done. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
That's
Andy.
all right. We'll be right back out here again next week doing another soccer game. boys soccer here versus Aragon. Then we'll be in the gym, which is going to be great. The new gym here at Mills.
It's beautiful.
It is. It is. And we're going to be looking at some basketball and some wrestling. It should be a really great lineup of winter sports here for MCTV.
On the corner. Nice ball, and it's headed out wonderfully. I believe that was Dantas. Ball initially signaled by Parfait to go the Vikings' way. Yeah, we did swimming and water polo and volleyball, just kind of covered them all.
Yeah, it's been great, actually. We've experienced a lot of different setups and gotten to know a lot of different teams and coaches. It's been fantastic. And this year, I should mention that we're working with the Mills High Art of Video class. As I'm looking at one of our Art of Video class members right in front of us here doing a little cable wrapping.
Corey center ball. Loose in front, and it's cleared out by Jefferson. On the move is Byron Herrera, a junior forward for the Indians. Nicely cleared out. Now battling is Kenny. He's been all over the field, and he gets called for a foul there.
That was a nice move by Thorgerson to control the ball and turn around. He was off balance. Still managed to clear it out a little bit there and give the defense some time to set up again.
Speaking of our MCTV crew, our director and technical director, Jeff McGinnis, our engineer, Randy Sahai, on graphics, Justin Hui, and our camera operators, Andy Chan, Devin Papakostas, and Jeremy. Oh, a high bouncing. Oh, Eric Wong. He really had to time that well. Jeremy Truong is our other camera operator. Nice save there by Wong as we were getting our credits in for our crew. But
yeah.
Boy, that was dangerous.
Yeah, it was. But he's, last year we saw Anthony Vozeris out there at the goal position for Mills. And he was a tall figure out there. It was tough to get by. Looks like we got a suitable replacement here.
These two teams fairly evenly matched early on. Thorgerson tries to send it ahead. There's Dantas in the middle. Switches it over to the left side. Chasing it down is June Jang. June with a nice center ball. Corey with the header. And it's just over the crossbar. Very well designed action there by the Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings do a great job of getting, like I said before, getting the ball in the air. You put that ball in the air in front of the net, and somebody's going to eventually put that one down into the net. Just a little bit off the top of the head there. But an excellent setup, a great pass from the wings.
Great kick. Little contact there. Boy, that was rough. Howie Hernandez really got into that Indian midfielder, and it looked like the referee, Justin Rubovitz, was about to call it, but since Jeff, I think, gained possession, he decided.
Exactly. Let the advantage play on.
Yeah.
That's good. Let them keep playing.
There we go.
I want to get a nice flow to this game going back and forth. Typically, a game that has a lot of fouls is not as exciting to watch.
Oh, boy, was that a dangerous shot there from Byron Herrera from deep over on the right side. A tough angle, and it went a little wide, but I think that threw Wong off the way it was pretty close to on net.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was that concerned as the ball was coming through. He looked like he knew what was going on, but from our perspective, that looked like a pretty close shot.
Wong just allowed that one goal on Wednesday and earned the tie. Once again, Mills 3-2-3 overall. There's a little push in the back there and right in front of the referee. I think everyone here saw it.
He said, who, me? Who, me? Yeah, actually, it was you.
Nice little crowd out today. Again, wonderful day for soccer as Thorgerson sends it in, and it's headed out by Eduardo Iraheta for Jefferson. Jefferson only played 2 preseason games, and they won them both. They beat Woodside 2-1, and they beat Cappuccino 4-2. In the Woodside game, the goals were scored by Byron Herrera and Emmanuel Sanchez, and Sanchez, one of their top scorers, unfortunately for Jefferson, is now ineligible due to academics. Unfortunate.
That's a shame. You always want to get the best team that you can out here. And of course, this being high school sports, academics take precedence over anything else. So let's hope he's able to get back out here and play sometime soon with some better grades.
Andrada. Nice move to get around Donovan Fernandez. Still with it is Andrada. And we got some contact. And we may have a yellow card here. And it's going to be a double yellow. Andrada for Mills and Edgar Catalan for Jefferson.
Sort of like the offsetting penalties that you might get in football. Just sort of a message there from the referee that maybe he's not going to be tolerating the extracurricular activity out here. Keep things under control.
And losing Sanchez, once again, Jefferson, he scored 2 goals in that Cappuccino win. The other goals were by Christian Salgado and Byron Herrera.
It's a little odd. Why do you think they would only play 2 preseason games?
I think they've been having, from what I've heard, some coaching uncertainty.
Gotcha.
This year it's Aguinada, who was a parent volunteer taking the head coaching job. And it's his first year. The assistant coach and the JV head coach, Luis Magallanes, who we got most of our information from, who is also a teacher at Jefferson, is kind of helping run things. So they're let's say their coaching situation's a little bit in flux.
Understandable then. To only have those 2 preseason games, I wonder if it puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, but they should be fresh.
Absolutely. They don't look tired at the moment.
There's Thorgerson. And Jun Jiang, but it's taken by Herrera. Some got cranked up there. I don't know if that's the truck or what, but that would be good news.
That would be good news. We'd see. With the second half, maybe would be like a revelation here on the field.
Still here in the first half, no score. Mills and Jefferson from the PAL Ocean Division making a run there is Nick Sue. And nicely defended by Cesar Cioria. And it'll go for a corner for the Vikings. Mills tied for 4th. There's only just 1 game. They had that tie with Westmore. The 3 teams on top of them at 1-0. 3 teams below them at 0-1. Jefferson is one of those. Attempted a centering ball. Battling for a little push-off as they ran for it. And the Vikings didn't like that call. And we've got a yellow card for arguing with the official. And he's still talking. And that player for the Vikings is Connor Killigrew.
Looks like he may have let him off with a warning there.
Okay, warning.
Yeah.
Didn't give him a yellow. Okay, that's good.
But we can expect the next time. I imagine that card will be coming out of the pocket.
So we've got the kick by Jefferson, and it's headed out. And controlled there temporarily by Mills and sent out of bounds. Castillo to the big fella, Ronaldo Barba, and he heads it out of bounds. And here comes Eric Johnson with the throw in for Mills. Corey tries to tap dance along the sideline, does a nice job and switches it, but nobody's home. That's where that weak side forward has got to get into position to receive that switch, Andy.
That's right. And you got to float that ball up a little bit more if you're coming out to the other side. If you want to kick the ball across the field like that, you got to give your player time to move forward. So a little bit of height on that ball would have helped.
Here's Killigrew for Mills. Surveys the field, and the Vikings set up their attack. They've got a play design for this. It's a low bouncer. Barba for Jefferson stumbled, but he still was able to get a foot on it. And they sent it into the left. Kicking it out of bounds was Iraheta.
You really get the feeling that the drive of the Mills offense here is going down the sides of the field and putting the ball up in the air and coming through the center. There hasn't been a lot of straight charging through the middle, and that might be because Jefferson is stacking the box with lots of defenders.
On the move. That's Herrera. Herrera with a center ball to Fernandez. More contact. Arn comes out from Killigrew. And Kenny sends it through. We got a 2-on-1 break here. And good hustle back by Jefferson's Ciordia, who kicks it out of bounds. That was money time there. If Corey could have got control, we had a 2-on-1 opportunity.
Yeah, and that's the only thing you can do in that situation is just put the ball out wherever you can get it. Obviously, you don't want to be giving up a corner kick if you can avoid it, but when you're in that situation, 2-on-1, you just got to get that ball out of there.
Johnson with a header just offline or over the top of the crossbar. A nice effort there by June Jang and a wonderful corner by Johnson.
Yeah, that was that should have been a goal right there. He just was a little bit offline with the header. But again, if they keep pushing and pounding the net like this, we can expect to see a ball in the back of the net relatively soon here.
Corey heads it to Dantes. Back to Corey on a give and go. A little contact, but it's incidental. And it's cleared and sent out by Jefferson, and Thorgerson gives Johnson. Johnson's through ball, deflected. And Cheese is going to send it back to Wong. Let's set up a play, get everybody back in their spots. There's Kenny. Kenny with a nice attempt here and a loose ball. It's sent forward, but it's a little bit too high and that time he got it up, but it was a little too far ahead.
That's right. We got a little excited. But you know, it's this high line that the Mills defense is playing that's really helping them out in terms of pushing the ball forward. You got to wonder, though, sometimes that's playing with fire when you pull all your defenders up close to the halfway line.
We've played 25 minutes here in the first half. It's still no score, 0-0. Here on MCTV Sports, I'm Kenny Milch alongside Andy Pitman. And we got a good game going here.
Yeah, we do.
There's a nice through ball. Kind of died in the grass. And like you were saying last week at Westmore, we're on turf.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's natural grass today.
We were wondering a little bit, and of course coming here to set up for the game, you always kind of got to watch out for the water. But in terms of the ball movement, ball running on wet grass really can skip quite fast through there. So in those situations, you're an offensive player. You want to put that ball on the ground and kick it as hard as you can. Make the goalie, put his hands on that ball to make the stop.
Ball to the center for the Indians. Donovan Fernandez couldn't track it down for Jeff, but Marco Vasquez does. That ball is quickly stolen by Mills. Not a lot of ball control here early on. A lot of kicks just going back and forth. Look at that. It's just a lot of random kicks. You know, a lot of times you'll see these really skilled teams do a lot of pinpoint passing. Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen a lot of that here in the first half.
Well, especially when the ball starts going up and down.
Corey with the center, and it's just off the reach, but Andrade tries to come in on a weak side.
When you see the ball going up and down in the field like that, there's not a lot of opportunity to really settle and get control. And in these situations, it's crucial for your team to maintain the shape, whatever the philosophy of the coach is. I thought Coach Dilley had him out there at a 4-3-3 with 3 forwards, 3 halfbacks, and 4 defenders. It looks like that's what he's going with today. But if they don't spread the field, there's not as much opportunity to get those kind of ball control, to get that kind of ball control going on.
More back and forth. Thorgerson to Johnson. Over to Corey. Little tapper. Corey tries to squeeze it through, and it almost does get there. Nick Sue was the intended target. Tracking that ball down over is Aui Hernandez. Hernandez was doing a lot of scoring last year, and we were hoping to talk with Coach Dilley before the game and try to get an update on the statistics of how the scoring breakdown has taken place this year, but he had something he had to attend to before the game and arrived just after the kickoff. Mm-hmm. The assistant coach Paulie Wired was taking over, and now Coach Dilley has arrived.
Well, as you mentioned, Aui Hernandez seemed to be a key part of the offense last year, and definitely against Westmore. A lot of the plays seem to be running through him in the middle there.
Ball's going to go out of bounds to Jefferson. Once again, our camera operators, Andy Chan, Denon Papakostas, and Jeremy Truong. There's Corey. Battles and wins. Through ball. Nicely done there. And here comes Nick Sue. Sue cuts the corner. Sue, center ball. Just off the foot of June Jang.
Once again, betrayed by that first touch. It's so important to get control. With that first touch, gives you the ability to get that shot off quickly.
Jefferson with it, trying to center it. Once again, playing without their leading scorer, Sanchez, academically ineligible. All coaches kind of cringe with one eye open and one closed when they check the grade reports every period and hope that all their players are eligible. Mills looking to try to get on the board here. Still no score. Handball there. He tried to control it, but you could see that ball clearly went off the hand.
Even if it's an incidental handball, if it allows the player to get control of the ball, the referee is going to call that one. I'm a little surprised earlier on the push down here in the corner. They had a Jefferson player control the ball with his hand. Actually, had stopped the ball from going through, which often will result in a yellow card.
Sordia sends it through, a little header there. Doesn't quite get on net by Edgar Catalan. And Wong retrieves. And Wong's going to send it out to Kenny. Does a nice job controlling. Tries to find Corey. As Dantas, number 20, battling. June Jang. Jang sends it through. Moving in on net. The goalie comes out. Nice play by Luis Frangel. Good opportunity there for Nick Sue. Goes by the wayside. But it's still Vikings ball. Mills has had a couple opportunities.
Absolutely, and it seems that they're having success running down the sidelines. Sue in particular has been all over the place. He's got a motor for sure. So if they can control the ball down in the corners, it gives them the opportunity to get it out there in the center.
And try to find Hernandez. We've played 31 and a half minutes of the first half here at Mills High School between the Vikings and the Jefferson Indians, and there is still no score. That's Jefferson in blue, Mills in white. And Mac Parfett, the assistant referee, says ball goes to the Vikes. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We got sunshine here.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have any rain today and we don't have any rain next Friday, all will be good. Although they'll play in the rain. I don't know if we're going to play in the rain. But I definitely remember from my playing days not really enjoying playing out there in the mud.
And I believe the Indians head coach has arrived, Julio Aguinaldo, in his first year. So both head coaches are here. The refs are here. We're here.
Yeah.
And we got a good ball game, a tie score, 0-0. And now the referee, Justin Rubovitz, is going over to talk with the Mills sideline. I don't know if he doesn't like the JV squad so close. He's going to back them up.
I wonder if it's a little bit confusing for the referees to know who's who over there.
Yeah.
A little bit odd.
Kind of like a sideline warning in football.
Well, we have the Jefferson team right here behind us. Matter of fact, they're getting ready to go over here as well, the JV. I always wonder how they get their games in before it gets dark here.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little dark already.
Still a lot of back and forth action. That's Hernandez. Nice slide tackle there for Jefferson. They got the ball and they try to send it ahead. Nicely defended by Johnson. Justin Quirante was trying to chase it down for Jefferson. And we got a foul on the Indians. They're going to set things up for Thorgerson.
You got Corey down here at the mouth of the goal. He's a tall guy.
And they're going to send it up forward into the middle. Dangerous ball, and it gets through everybody. Goal kick. And this one will be taken by Cesar Cioria, senior defenseman, wearing number 11. Coach Aguinaldo from El Salvador is a professional long-distance runner.
Could come in handy for soccer. A lot of running goes on during the course of a game.
That's Quirante trying to send it forward. Johnson for Mills.
He tackled his own man there.
Yeah, he did. And for the Indians, that's Barba, big number 28. Sending it through is Jun Zhang out of bounds. And we played 35 minutes here in the first half. Still no score. That's Corey chasing it down in the right corner, battling two defenders. And the defense wins that one. Here's Barba going against Thorgerson, the two big guys. And Cheese wins that battle. He goes down. He wanted a foul on that.
Pretty clean half so far, though. Not a lot of fouls. Good to see.
Johnson sends it to Dantas. Going to try to center it, and there's a collision, but he gets another shot at it. Oh, with a nice header attempt. That was Nick Sue. There's Hernandez. Like to get him with his feet on the ball a little closer to the goal. But Jeff has done a nice job of holding off any Mills runs. They've had a few opportunities. Johnson tries to cross it over, and they got an offside penalty against the Vikes.
That was the trap in action right there. Nick Sue caught looking.
There's a good look at the young Mills JV team jogging around the field, getting warmed up for their game. We're still in the first half. About 37 minutes in. No score here on MCTV Sports. Covered a soccer game from both the boys and girls side last year. We enjoyed it so much. We're going to try to do 2 games of each boys and girls this year.
That's right. Every year you gotta keep pushing forward. So that's what we're doing here, MCTV.
Out of bounds. Check of the clock by the referee, Justin Rubovitz, and he's looking and he's thinking it's getting pretty close to halftime. I'm in agreement here. According to my unofficial watch, we're now into the 33rd minute. Check that, the 38th minute. There's a nice center ball, and once again, Jose Luis Frangel, the goalie, makes a nice decision, comes out before any super threat is made. That's Howie Hernandez. Tries to send it forward to Sue. Here's Corey with a shot from deep, and it's off to the right. He just didn't quite get all his foot on it off the side.
It's a tough shot, a volley there, but you kind of got to take it. It's the opportunity's right there for you. If he had brought that ball to the ground, he might not have been able to get a shot around the defender. So
Corey, a senior, wearing number 10. Nine seniors on this Mills squad. Corey sends it ahead with his head, and it's booted out of bounds there by Ciordia.
We just had our engineer, Randy Sahai, with a little assist on the ball.
Well done.
I didn't know she was a soccer player, but...
No contact over there, no call. Johnson battling for Mills, wearing number 6. Out of bounds, it stays the Vikings' direction. Going to try to get a goal here at the end of the half. Just around a minute left, according to our unofficial watch, maybe a little less. Jefferson sends it forward. And that's Fernandez trying to find his forward. Little contact there with Byron Herrera. No call. And that's kind of up to the offensive player to look out for the goalie. Goalie kind of has the right of way, if you will.
Yeah, and he had the ball in his hands. The offending player came in and ran into him. In that case, you're not going to get the penalty on that. You do see every now and then a goalie will come in and trip a player going for the ball. As long as they get to the player before the ball, that's worthy of a penalty. Often a yellow card and a penalty kick. So, but in this case, was fair play.
In the last minute here, nice through ball there, battling for it. That's June Jang, sends it out to Johnson, tries to get it back in there, and that could end up being the half here. Continually checking the watch. Maybe a little extra time here. That's Dantas chasing it down. Johnson says, here you go. And that's going to be halftime. So there ends up being no score between the Mills Vikings and the Jefferson Indians here in this Peninsula Athletic League Ocean Division battle. Your thoughts, Andy, on the first half?
A good first half. Lots of up and down action. It's clean, but you want to see a little bit better finishing in front of the goal. And for Mills, they're getting the ball in there. They're getting their chances. They just need to capitalize on it. It's the same thing we saw at Westmore. They're doing okay with their ball control. Their defense looks sharp. Their goalkeeper looks sharp. Now they just need to score.
A lot of fun here on the campus of Mills High School. The Vikings and the Indians. No score at halftime. We'll be back with the second half in just a bit. Okay, we're back here in the second half of this wonderful Ocean Division matchup here on MCTV Sports. It's the Mills Vikings and the Jefferson Indians. No score at halftime, and we're just set to begin the second half. And we've switched ends. Once again, Mills in their home whites and Jefferson in their road dark blue. Both these teams have played one Ocean Division game, and that was just 2 days ago. Mills and Westmore battled to a 1-1 exciting tie, and it took the Vikings nearly 78 minutes to score their first league goal, and they've gone 40 minutes without one today. Jefferson lost their opener 3-0, so they're still yet to score their first Ocean Division goal. And looking for their first Ocean Division win. Oh, we got contact there and no call. Boy, Killigrew took a hit there from Tomas Malave. And Eric Wong, the goalie for Mills, retrieves it. They went 0-12-2, Jefferson did last year. And, of course, Mills last year in the Ocean Division went 4-2-3, 6-5-3 overall. 4th place in the Ocean. That Jefferson shutout loss was dealt by the hands of Hillsdale. 2 other games on Wednesday. South City beat Cap 4-2, and El Camino shut out Terra Nova 1-0. 8 teams in the Ocean Division. So the top 4 right now, or the top 3 recording wins, were Hillsdale, Westmore, and South City. And then you've got Hillsdale, South City, and El Camino. Mills and Westmore, with that tie, are sitting there at a tie for 4th place.
Still a lot of soccer to play here in the league.
Very early. There's a nice ball. Corey with a shot attempt that's saved. Dantes with a rebound, he scores.
It's cool and collected there, Ken.
Carlos Dantes, number 20, the junior, with the goal, and the Vikings lead it 1-0.
What you got to like there is watching Dantes just very calmly step up, not trying to blast that ball, just put it right in there low where the keeper was already coming off a rebound. It was a good shot. It's all you need to score right there.
That comes at the 37-minute mark here, the second half. And there's Dantes again to give it to Corey. Give Corey the assist on that. Hernandez trying to retrieve it there in the left corner. Mills' top scorer sends it up to the middle. Another scoring chance, and it's an own goal. They're going to give it to June Jang, but I believe that might have been deflected in by Luis Castillo for Jefferson. Maybe we have a replay on that. We can take a look, but it sure looked like Castillo was the last to touch that one.
As a former defender, that is a painful sight to see right there. But again, like I said, you just keep putting that ball in through the center, and sometimes you get a little lucky, and that's what happened there.
So we went 43 minutes without a goal, and now we've gone just 4 minutes, and we got 2 goals, and both those were scored within a minute of each other.
And this is the kind of time when either the wheels are going to come off for Jefferson or they're going to get tough. Mills is in control right now. They can kind of relax, play a more defensive-minded game. They don't have to push forward as much. They can bring a guy back. It's a good position to be in.
Hernandez to Jang, back to Hernandez on the give and go. This is how they got the second goal started. It was nicely done. Hernandez made that move along the end line and centered that ball. And Jang is going to get credit for the goal. First one was scored by Dantes at the 37-minute mark, assist to Corey. Wong comes out. Exciting action there as the forward for Jefferson and Wong, the goalie for Mills, came together, and somehow they avoided each other for what would have been a pretty dangerous collision. Here's Andrada back the other way for the Vikes. Hernandez going to cross it over to Dantes by himself against the goalie. Save, shot, another save. Corey had a shot at it, but Luis Frangel, who went down, somehow made a second save while he was still on the ground. Another ball and a header by Dantes, and Frangel with a save. Boy, Jose Luis made some nice plays there for Jefferson to try to keep them close.
He's earning his keep right now. He's got his hands full. The Vikings are coming at him hard.
From all directions.
They are. They've found a nose for the goal here.
Coach Dilley must have had a wonderful halftime speech, maybe made a couple adjustments, because whatever he said over there by that Viking bench fired up his Mills squad, and it produced 2 goals in just 4 minutes.
And that's what you'd like to think as a coach for soccer, since so much of the action really is happening on the field. You're removed from it. You'd like to think that your words of inspiration are what really guide your team on to victory.
Whistle, not sure what the call was there. Maybe an offsides. That was offsides on the Indians. So they're going to have to get it together here. Elsewhere in the Ocean Division today, El Camino is at Westmore. Hillsdale is at Cappuccino, and Terra Nova is taking on South City, and that game is at Skyline College. Up in the cold fog. I'm sure it's about 15 to 20 degrees cooler up there than it is here.
I like it here.
There's Killigrew sending it to Andrada. Nice ball there ahead to Hernandez, and he gets by one defender. He takes a shot off the crossbar. What a beautiful move there by Hernandez, and an even better ball there by Damon Schwent.
Looks like we might have a penalty coming up.
And it was a defensive pass back to the goalie, which is inside the box. That's going to create the penalty opportunity. Unfortunate there, but
that was fantastic movement by Hernandez. They're playing well off the ball right now. It's all a matter of where you're moving when you don't have the ball that creates the plays.
Now this will be interesting how they do it. It's an indirect kick. There's got to be a double touch, and Jun Jang takes a shot at it. Runs into the wall. Another shot and a save there by Frangel. So, you know, it's interesting. You can build a wall in front, and there's got to be a double touch there. Here comes Swen. Swen with a nice center ball. Dantes crosses over to Andrada. Heads it back to Hernandez. Hernandez sends it back into the middle. There's Corey. Corey wheels, deals, shot, scores! For Ross, Corey from Hernandez. And Mills is up 3-0.
Frangel never had a chance on that one because it was out of his sight. As soon as the ball was going by him in the goal, that was the first time he had seen it, so... Vikings on a roll here.
Second assist for Hernandez. That comes at the 32-minute mark. So the Vikings have come out of the locker room or off the bench at halftime, right over on the sideline where they did their talk, and have scored 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of this half, erupting. Wonderful goals there. Great ball movement. They crossed it 2 or 3 times on that possession.
It's a matter of desire. When you move without the ball, you give your other teammates the opportunity to get you in open space. And that's what the Vikings have been doing, is moving without the ball.
And their passing has been much better. We mentioned in the first half, both teams, neither was doing a lot of pinpoint passing, and all of a sudden, Vikings have really been on top of their passing, and a little stumble there.
Well, having control of the ball gives you that opportunity to look around and make the choice for a good pass. If you're rushed, you're going to kick that ball wherever you can, and it's just going to be a back-and-forth game, more like what we were seeing in the first half from the Vikings.
Thorgerson sent it through to Corey with the header, and that was taken by Frangel, the goalie for Jefferson. Thorgerson heads it ahead again. Dantes with a nice ball to Andrada, but he's offsides. Just a little bit offsides, and he would like the AR1 Mac Parfait to reevaluate his whistle.
Yeah, I don't think there's a forward out there that believes in the offsides rule. You ask them, they'll make their own calls every time.
Thorgerson with the head. Another head for Jefferson ahead, and a high shot goes well high by Byron Herrera. In that Hillsdale-Jefferson game last week, 2 days ago on Wednesday, Hillsdale scored all 3 of their goals in the first half. And this is totally the opposite. The Indians now have allowed 3 goals here in the second half.
Well, they're looking a little bit shaken up right now, to be honest with you. And for them, it's going to be a matter of settling down and just trying to get that first opportunity, just get on the board and build off of that.
Jang gives to Hernandez. Andrada, back to Jang. Back to Andrada. Here's some good passing here. Now this is more like the Viking squad that we've come to know. You got to believe that Coach Dilley was really talking about the accuracy of passing and sharing of the ball and not just random kicking. And let's give it to our teammates here in the white jerseys.
Yeah, I was impressed with his halftime speech at the Westmore game. He went through each player and offered suggestions on improvements for the second half. And it looks like maybe a little of that magic has worked here as well.
And like you said, it's really early on, but you definitely want to stay with wins and ties. Oh, there's a push off there. Donovan Fernandez for Jefferson got away with one, pushing Damon Swen. But, you keep winning and tying, and you keep yourself in the title hunt. Mills is thinking about, hey, let's put ourselves in a position to win one here.
Absolutely, and this sets the tone for the league right here. Is that they've gone through their preseason. Preseason doesn't always indicate exactly what kind of team you have, because you may be playing teams that are in a different level than you are, either better or worse. But either way, league is where you kind of have the rubber hit the road.
In the preseason, Mills played SI on December 3rd, and they lost just 1-0. We know how strong SI's athletic sports programs are. Then they tied Mountain View in a 0-0 double shutout. And then a loss at San Mateo 3-1. So Mills started out 0-2-1. Then game number 4 at Crystal Springs in Hillsboro, a victory, 2-1, their first win of the season. Then they tied Reardon. So they played 2 WCAL schools and lost one of them to SI 1-0, and then tied Reardon 3-3. So those are very good accomplishments. And then they visited Aragon. They won 1-0, and they hosted Harker and won 2-1, and then they've got that tie. So Mills has not lost since December the 9th. They've gone over a month. So it was certainly a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And now they're in league and feeling good. The confidence is there, especially with 3 goals on the board today. Kind of had to wonder a little bit after that first half whether or not they were lacking that finishing touch. But we're seeing it here, and now they're in control. So it's a different ball game.
And sometimes all it takes is just getting that first win. Back on December the 10th when they beat Crystal Springs on the road, that kind of catapulted them to this month-long streak of either wins or ties. And Coach Dilley is kind of having his kids feed off that momentum, and it's carrying over into league, like you said.
You always got to hope that when you have that momentum, it's going to stick around for a while. The season can go through ups and downs, definitely, and you obviously want to peak at the right time. So if you're in the hunt, that is when you really want your team to be firing on all cylinders.
And I remember last year when we did the game here at Mills, we were talking about the youth of Mills and how this could be one of their banner years. And they've put themselves in a good position here early on in league.
They have a lot of poise. Just watching them with the ball, it's been fun to watch them pass and get different opportunities.
Hernandez with a center ball. He'll cut that corner again. And here's Corey. Corey sends it to the middle, and it's cleared.
It was a great run by Hernandez.
Swen misses it, though. That was a good substitution Coach Dilley put in. Swen came in. He kind of sparked him. Here's a breakaway opportunity, and Eric Wong comes out. Makes a good decision. We're in the second half here. On MCTV Sports, Mills and Jefferson. Boys soccer from the Ocean Division. We've played close to 16 minutes here, and it didn't take Mills long here in the second half. The 37-minute mark. Dantas scored, assist to Corey. Then just 1 minute later, Jang scored, assist to Hernandez. And then 4 minutes later, Hernandez got another assist, this time to Corey.
Hernandez is right in the thick of it.
Swen with a shot on goal, save by Frangel. I'm sorry, Andy.
I was just going to say that Hernandez has been involved with a lot of the scoring plays, and he kind of just quietly seems to be around the ball all the time.
Making a run here is Herrera. For Jefferson, tries to center it. Nice ball there, taken by Fernandez, who sends it towards the net, but it's off to the left. And the goalkeeper, Wong, will get the other ball. Looks like we got a substitution going for both teams. Dantas is going to go out for Mills. Barba is going to come in for Jefferson. And coming in for Mills, moving to center forward. Catch a number on that. Can. Oh, he's getting his jersey tugged, and he's battling for the ball. I believe that's Daniel Segura. Segura, the junior, going to get some playing time here with the Vikings up 3-0.
You mentioned that last year they were a young team, but some of the key players here that are out on the field right now are still just juniors, and actually Hernandez is just a sophomore, so it's a sign of go with that.
Now that was a very violent collision there between the goalie Frangel, and I'm not sure if that was Jang for Mill or Corey. I think it was for Ross Corey for Mills, and both coaches and athletic trainers are coming out. Corey's already moving, but the goalkeeper, Frangel for Jefferson, has not been.
That was a nasty hit. And you can just hope that both of these guys are going to get up and walk away from this.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you're not really looking at the man that's in front of you. You're looking for the ball. And no one really at fault there. Just going for the ball. Two players coming together, but it's not a good scene here.
Next Wednesday, January the 15th, from the Ocean Division, Mills is at El Camino, and Jefferson is hosting South City. The other two games, Westmore is at Hillsdale, and Cappuccino is at Terra Nova. So next week, Mills plays El Camino on Wednesday, and then on Friday, they host Hillsdale. (14 league games. There are 8 teams in the Ocean Division.
We may have a substitute goalkeeper coming in for this for this injury.
That would be Miguel Cardenas, a junior. Jose Luis Frangel is also a junior, the goalie who is currently injured, and at least he's sitting up now. And Corey is walking off under his own power, so that's a good sign for Ross and all the Mills Vikings fans and supporters, and I'm sure his parents were probably in the stands were a little concerned about that violent collision. They're checking the nose, the face of Frangel, so he may have taken one to the chin.
And you don't typically associate soccer with violence, out on the field. Obviously, sports like football, sometimes basketball, you can end up having a lot more contact. But the players are out there without any protection, and particularly as a goalkeeper, a lot of times you're out there trying to challenge another player with the ball, and you have a situation like you just had here today where two players come together. And in particular in high school, they're going to be extra cautious about any kind of injuries that are happening out here. So it looks like we may have some extra time added on.
Mills is ranked 22nd, according to Max Preps, in the Central Coast section. Watsonville is number 1. Sarah, of course, out of San Mateo, is ranked 2nd from the WCAL. And
tough to come in as a goalkeeper, especially as a substitute. You don't often see goalkeepers substituted on any level, but in particular to get yourself jacked up to come in and play with a 3-0 deficit be kind of tough.
the Bay Division is the top division. Check, check.
Did you guys lose Ken? You can hear Ken? We can't hear him anymore. What happened?
The Bay Division, Burlingame, Menlo Atherton, and Woodside all came up with victories on Wednesday, and there was one tie, Aragon and Sequoia. The losing teams from the Bay, the upper division, Carlmont, Half Moon Bay, and San Mateo. And a nice hand for Jose Luis Frangel, the goalie, who is not only limping a little bit, but also is holding some ice pack on his face. So he took a very violent shot to two different areas.
It's good to see him up on his feet. That didn't look like a good collision at all. And despite the 3-0 score, he actually was having himself a pretty decent game. Great save, so too bad to see him out.
So after the delay, we're not quite sure exactly how much time will be put back on or added, but we figure there's probably about 20 minutes or so left in this game. Free kick coming up here, and it'll be Thorgerson. Cheese sends it to the goal and tests out the new goalie. And Miguel Cardenas for Jefferson handles things, no problem. Sends it out to midfield. That's Jang sending it over to Damon Swen. And here comes the Indians. Right before that collision, we were talking a little bit about Swen and how that substitution by Coach Dilly kind of sparked him, even though Swen hasn't been directly involved with either the assist or the goal. He did get a couple loose balls, and he kind of started the fast break, if you will, and he's done a nice job. That was a good substitution.
Yeah, and it could be tough coming off the bench to come in and have an impact on the game, but that's exactly what Coach Dilly is looking for. The idea of the super sub coming in and making an impact. Right now, it's not really about scoring goals for the Vikings, although I'm sure they wouldn't object to scoring more. But it's really about holding the line, making sure that you don't let any of the forwards slip past your back line, and just maintaining for the duration of this game.
In case you just joined us, the first half went scoreless between Mills and Jefferson here on MCTV Sports. I'm Kenny Melch alongside Andy Pitman, but then in the second half, the Vikings erupted quickly, scoring 3 goals in the first 8 minutes. Dantas, Jang, and Corey found the net. The assists went to Corey, Hernandez, and Hernandez, respectively. That's where we stand, 3-0, just around 20 minutes left, and a slide tackle by Killigrew. And whistle blows. And Jefferson will have a nice opportunity here.
Now, sometimes on a tackle like that, you will see a yellow card come out. He did have the cleats pointing upwards, but it was actually after he had gone through the tackle and was already past the player. He had come in with his cleats up on the slide at the initial point of the slide. That could easily have been a card.
Donovan Fernandez is going to take the kick. Little 3-man wall there. It's up high, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Jefferson has had a few shots, but a lot of them have either gone too high or off to the side. They haven't had a lot on net.
Yeah, the opportunities just haven't been there. The Mills defense has done a nice job of clamping down in the middle. And in another sort of odd occurrence here, we're seeing another substitution for the goalie. Maybe a matter of Coach Dilly looking to get some of his other players a little game time.
Didn't catch a number on that substitute goalie. I don't know if you got a... Nonetheless, action is back in play. There's Swen gonna throw in. Looking for one of his partners. Another substitution in there. The new goalie is Trevor. Didn't get a last name put on the roster that was submitted to us. As a matter of fact, there's 4 players that we don't have last names for, so we'll just have to go by their first name.
I was wondering maybe there were some Brazilians on this team.
Known by just one name.
Just one name. So good, you don't need 2 names.
Right. Matter of fact, there's 2 number 21s, but I believe that one is correct. So we continue on with action here in the second half on MCTV Sports, Jefferson and Mills, and a shot just off to the left once again. Trevor has no problem picking up the other ball. And Thorgerson is going to take the goal kick. Another substitution coming in for the Vikings. Great to see everybody getting a lot of action. I like this new substitution rule. I don't know how new it is, but the fact that there's more free substitution allowed in high school soccer, which is great.
And it's great for the coaches, actually, because you do want to get your bench players in there. You want to get them used to playing so that when it does come time for your bench players to step in and sub for a starter, it's not a problem for them.
Samir Habash, number 14, is one of the new substitutions for Mills. Oh, there's a loose ball there for Jang. He retrieves it and shows some good patience. And it's taken out top by Derek. Another substitution in. Did not get a last name for him. Probably around 15 minutes left in this one. Jefferson tries to send it ahead to Barba, and Trevor's got to come out. Does a nice job, makes a good decision. That's not easy right off the bench. You have a situation where, do you come out? Am I going to stay home? He did the right one.
Yeah, but as a goalie, that's pretty scary. When you're coming out there, all you want to do is knock that ball out of the way, and you knock it right to the opposing player. And that opposing player loves to take that opportunity to take a long shot. You're going to end up watching that ball go in from 15 yards out.
Habash retrieves it and says, Dantas, you go ahead with the throw-in. Dantas had that nice rebound goal to start the scoring off for Mills in the second half. Just 3 minutes in.
A little frustration showing here for the Indians, especially on the defensive side. It's tough to be under attack for most of the day.
Dantas reverses field to Derek. There's Swen. Jefferson with the throw-in. Herrera, number 17, one of the top scorers for Jefferson, trying to get it going. Without their leading scorer, once again, who was academically ineligible. It looks like it's costly. You lose one cog in a wheel or a machine that's going in a certain direction, and it changes things.
There's some players out there that have the instincts to get the ball in the net. As soon as you lose that, someone else needs to step up. And particularly if you rely on that one player, it can be extremely difficult to get another player to become that person, that number 10 scorer that's going to get in there and distribute the ball and also put shots on net. That's
Herrera. That's their one big goal-scoring opportunity player. And, you know, that's been the case, and he described it well, as they won their first 2 games with Emmanuel Sanchez, and he scored 3 of their 6 goals in their 2 wins, and they've now played 1 game without him, and they didn't score, and now they're well into the second half of their second game without him. They still haven't scored.
And it can be tough also in losing a player like that. I mean, for the rest of the team, from a mental perspective, you kind of have to reimagine how your season is going to look. So you start off thinking that you've got this really strong player that's going to be out there setting you up.
What a great ball by Thorgerson. Sorry about that, Andy.
That's
but
all
then
right.
a nice save there by the backup goalie, Cardenas. And I say the main message there for you youngsters watching and listening at home, do your homework.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no reason to think that a good student doesn't make a better athlete. So, you know, as a coach, I'm sure you know as a coach, you want a player out there that's using his mind as much as his body. Someone out there that understands the game and also is dedicated to doing their best on the field, off the field, wherever it is. It's not just about the end results of the game. You know, these athletics also are important in helping these students
Bosch
grow.
with a center ball. Nicely done. And coming in.
Was that Thorgerson again?
No, well, Habash had the centering pass, and then coming in with the diving header attempt, trying to catch a number on that. It might have been Derek.
Okay.
No, it was number 12. I think 12 is the one number that we did not get on our roster. It might be Mitchell Louie. They have 21 down twice. One of them we know is the goalie, Trevor. I'm going to think that that is Mitchell Louie, number 12. And they just
could be a secret weapon out there.
Yeah. Here's Louie right here. And Jefferson clears it out of bounds.
It's a good feeling when you can look to your left and look to your right and you see that you have a place to put that ball. And right there, Louie gave his man in the middle an opportunity to just kick that ball forward and let him run to it. And with a little bit better pass, that's going to bring the opportunity to kick that ball back over in front of the goal.
That was Darren with the throw in, another substitution for Mills. Happy to kick it out of bounds, stay out of harm's way as Jefferson is. We have just about 10, maybe 11 minutes left here in the ball game with the Vikings in control, in command. They have cleared their bench. They lead it 3-0. And the ball's been in their offensive half most of this half.
Looked like a 50-50 ball, but hands up, and ref's got to make a call one way or the other, so tough one.
Herrera is going to take this one just near midfield. Sends it through. Nice. Barba, big fella, but still gets cleared out by Mills. There's Barba again for Jefferson battling the Vikings. That was Derek, number 5. Little contact there, no call. Loose ball in the middle. And Kirante couldn't get a foot on it. He's still chasing it around for Jefferson. There's Habash. Cleared out by Mitchell Louie. Thorgerson tracks it down. Johnson takes a hit and a foul on the Indians. Well, Coach Dilly at this point looks like he's going to cruise to the first PAL Ocean Division victory. And Coach Dilly, he's got a lot of experience. You know, he was in the Skyline College men's soccer program where he was an assistant coach from 2009 to 2011, and Burlingame Soccer Club. That loose ball goes to Swen. Head of pre-academy program from 2007 till still currently, you know, so he teaches, he coaches, and he's over helping out at the Burlingame Soccer Club.
You know what, he
find the time?
He just looks like a soccer player. When I look at him, he looks like a soccer player, and has a you know, there's a certain demeanor that you expect to see with somebody that's been playing the game for a long time as well, and he definitely seems to have that that passion and drive.
And he went to Mills High School, played soccer. He was an attacking center mid. He also ran track and field.
Perhaps that explains what it looks like to be his philosophy of getting lots of people forward. Although it looks like right now they've pulled back a little bit and they're settled into a defensive mode. But definitely that first half and the beginning of the second half.
He was quite a soccer player in his time. First team All-League 3 years in a row, 05, 06, and 07. A two-time team MVP in 06 and 07, and won the Mills Blanket Award in 2007.
Not too shabby.
Here comes Habash down the left side. Gets a bump. Retains possession. Trying to figure out if he wants to center it or kick it back. And in the meantime, Jefferson takes it away. There's Herrera sending it on forward to Quirante, and it goes out of bounds. He also went to Skyline College in San Francisco State and played right wing back, and was named first team all-conference 2 years in a row, 2008. Lives in Daly City, loves soccer, and he's a surfer also.
I'm not too surprised about that. But I am. It's interesting to hear that he was also a winger, because we've seen a strong attack going down the wings here for the Vikings all day long. You know, sometimes as a winger, you don't really get the glory. You don't get the goals, but you're going to end up getting the assists. Those are the guys that put the ball back in. Set their teammates up and let them get a shot.
And he was rewarded by his college coach by making first team all-conference as a right wing back. So there you have it.
Not too shabby.
Substitution for Jefferson. Barba's going to head out.
Yeah, at this point, both coaches have got to be thinking a little bit about making sure that no one else gets hurt. The game is pretty much in hand at the moment for the Vikings with not much time left.
Edgar Catalan, the midfielder, number 8, a senior, is the one who substituted for Barba, and he's the one who got the one yellow card that we've seen from Jefferson, and getting the yellow card for Mills was Justin Andrada. There's a nice through ball sent to Habash, and Habash could have a breakaway here. Habash with a nice step back and a shot and a save. Well done by the goalie. He did not wait around for that one, and as a substitute, Cardenas came out, made the right decision, and a nice save.
Yeah, it looked like the Mills attacker there sort of turned a corner around the defender, and next thing you know, the ball's in the air. Goalie did a great job of getting his hands up.
Good action on that run there by Samir Habash, just a junior.
And another substitute.
Yeah. Some good depth on this Mills Viking squad. Johnson sends it over to Louis. Louis' pass is just a little bit long for Habash. And there's Cardenas. And I believe that last substitution, well, even before that, that everybody on both benches have now played. And you don't get that a lot of times with varsity sports.
No, but not too surprising at a 3-0 score, because when it comes to soccer, that's a pretty huge deficit to kind of come back from. So,
shot attempt from Herrera goes off to the left, and we're a little less than 5 minutes according to our unofficial clock. We added about 4 minutes for that injury timeout. You look over to the sideline, and I think both players are going to be okay. We're hopeful anyways.
Yeah, it looked like actually for Jefferson, Jose Luis Frangel was helped off the field, so I don't believe he is here at the moment. So hopefully whatever that injury was, he's in the process of getting treatment or is in recovery, because it didn't look good. Looked like he took a shot in the face there.
There's a shot of Coach Dilly over on the bench. Got that half soccer, half surfing look.
I think it must be the hair.
Nice job, our MCTV crew today on the cameras. Andy Chan, Denon Papakostas as a shot on goal. Nice jumping save there by Trevor. And also Jeremy Truong working the graphics. Justin Hui. And our engineer, Randy Sahai, director and technical director, Jeff McGinnis. Starting to get a little chilly out here once that sun peeks behind those mountains.
Yeah, I mean, it's too bad we're not going to be out here for this Frosh Soft game, but I do feel for those teams.
Oh, boy.
Because I'll bet you by the end of that second half, whew.
And it's going to be getting dark, too.
That's right. Might make a good living out here selling some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
If anyone out there is listening or watching, it's an idea.
Still playing on the field are the Vikings and Indians from the campus of Mills High School on the lower field. Natural grass. A referee is Justin Rubovitz. The assistant referees, Mac Parfait and Victor Maraz.
You've done a nice job today, Kenny, with some of the names.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I know some of them can be challenging.
Gives me an opportunity to practice my Espanol. I like it. I like it.
Well, I'm certainly in no position to critique your Spanish, but admirable job there.
Well, I had a good 7th grade teacher. I'll never forget. Oh.
Well, if you're going to be a soccer commentator, this is a good skill to have. You know, I actually learned most of my Spanish out on the soccer field. Most of it I probably shouldn't repeat here, but it was very educational for me as a player.
Making a move down the sideline is Abdullah Noman. Noman still trying to track it down, showing good speed. Thorgerson blocks his path, and the ball goes out of bounds for a corner.
Rather odd call. Thorgerson clearly thought that the ball was coming off Jefferson. He made no attempt at playing that ball. He was just trying to run a little interference, and now we have a corner kick.
Noman is going to take it from the corner, and it's a little bit farther out than he would have liked. There's a shot attempt, but off the side of his foot. And that's the ball game. The Mills Vikings get their first PAL Ocean Division win in their second attempt, and they improve to 1-0-1 in the Ocean Division and 4-2-3 overall. Jefferson falls to 2-2 overall and 0-2 in the PAL Ocean Division. Nice game. We'll run down the scoring for you. At the 43-minute mark, it's Carlos Dantes with a rebound shot from Corey. That made it 1-0 Mills. Then just 1 minute later, it was June Jang with a goal, assisted by Aui Hernandez. And then just 4 minutes later, it was Faraz Corey with the goal, assisted to Hernandez again. So we played 80 minutes, and the 3 goals that were scored were within 5 minutes of each other. So if you happen to go to get a snack in the kitchen, you might have missed all 3 goals, but if you saw them, they were pretty exciting. It's a pretty good game overall for Mills, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be happy as Coach Dilly. His team had control of the ball. They were pushing forward a lot. They had opportunities. They didn't capitalize on all their opportunities, but they capitalized on enough of them to have a solid game and be proud of the effort that they put out on the field today. Fun game.
And we'll be back next week with more boys soccer from the Mills Vikings side. We'll be back here on the campus of Mills as the Vikings take on Hillsdale. That'll about do it. Once again, the final score, Mills 3, Jefferson 0. We'd like to thank our entire MCTV crew. For Andy Pitman, I'm Kenny Milch. So long, and we'll see you next time right here on MCTV Sports. Good night, everybody.